Okay, so now we have the environment set up. So now the thing that we need to do is we need to create the login screen fully so that it actually connects to the AWS Amplify backend. And for that, we need to have the ability to use or just set up a username, a password. We need to be able to sign in via Google. I'm not going to use Facebook or any other sign-in methods. I think Google is probably fine. And we also need to create the create user or sign up page, which is going to be interesting to see just how difficult this is to do with AWS Amplify, because I haven't done that before. So we're going to start by just what are we going to start with? We're going to start with creating the pages that we need. Right now, I'm just going to use the absolute most basic login screen possible. And so we need to create a button that just allows us to switch to the create user page. And then we need to add the Google login button. And then we have all the buttons and stuff added. And then we can start doing the backend, I think. So that's what we're starting with. Okay, so now I think I have the AWS Amplify backend set up. Now I just need to connect this to the front end somehow and get all these errors to go away. So configuration, no Cognito plugin config available is the error that I'm getting. I've spent a lot of time, but really the documentation here is really good. So just following this, I was able to set everything up. But now, okay, AWS config, so maybe this hasn't been set up properly. And maybe that is what this Cognito plugin config, no. All right, so I'm gonna try to solve all this and see if I can get the login stuff to work. And then if we get that to work, I think we're doing pretty good.
Ja, det kan vi ha.
Okay, so now we have the sign in and the create account page seems to be working. And we have the backend running, I think. So now we type in the verification code 488336 and then confirm. And now we're signed in. So that's actually pretty cool. We have the AWS Amplify thing set up. For this app, I just wanted to try that. But what I want to do now is I want to actually set up so that we use a phone number to sign in. And that's because the app that I'm actually building is an app where I want to have some sort of I want to create some sort of more like, what would you call that? I want to have accountability with the accounts that people create. So I don't want people to just use email after email after email, and like one person can set up 10 Gmail accounts and they can be pretty anonymous on the app, which isn't what I want, because I want people to have some accountability, because the app will kind of require people to be a little bit accountable. All of this doesn't really make sense when you don't know what the app is, but I can unfortunately not reveal what the app is yet. But there are basically a couple ways to approach this, which is we don't want people to be doing things that they shouldn't be doing on the app. And one way to counteract that is to create accountability with signing up. The best way would have been to use something like, in Europe or Sweden, we have something called Bank ID, which is an app that you can use to sign different banking stuff. And some companies also use that to sign into apps. And that's a really good way to create accountability, because if a user then does something on the app, then we can link it straight to that specific individual, and we can like prove that it's actually that person, which is a lot better than an email account, because an email account you can just create however many you want, and it's harder to pinpoint who the person is. Now, the thing with the bank ID is that it actually costs money to do that. I think the cheapest option is like $99 a month or something, which is going to be a little bit too expensive to just start a beta test of an app, or like to create an MVP of this app. I don't want to start paying straight away for a bank ID, even though that's going to be the goal, and that's where I want to get to. First, I have to have some sort of like maybe revenue, or maybe at least users, so that I can go to then investors that will provide some of the starting capital, or maybe I will be the investor in the app myself, just invest my own money in it. I don't have any plans yet, but before I start paying for those sort of things that aren't strictly necessary, I'm going to try to circumvent it or go another way around it. And the way to go around it, I feel, is using phone numbers. At least here in Sweden, now they've created something where you can't create or set up a new phone number, I think, unless you have some sort of ID verification. So it means that you can't have like 10 different phone numbers connected to one person. Or basically you can't go to a store and just buy a SIM card and set up a phone number without anyone being able to verify who the phone number belongs to. Now, this is all very loose. I don't know that that's the case, but I feel like most people just have one phone number. Most people don't have several phone numbers, so it's at least going to increase. It's going to add just a like, what is it that I think Tim Ferriss says, like add a like 1 foot obstacle that people have to jump over if they want to try to mess with the app. And I think that's going to be enough to deter a lot of people from doing bad things. So therefore, we're going to use the phone setup. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to try to set up so that we have phone verification instead of email.
Yeah, second. That's right. This is actually oh, I think I failed this. There's one type of as well. Maybe that's the one. Yeah, we have that. Okay, let's see what happens.
All right, I'm gonna have to continue this in the next video and come back because I need to edit this video and then post it today, which will take a while. But it seems like the problem that I'm running into is this error. So if anyone could help me with this, that would be super appreciated. But I might be able to solve it probably if I just spend some time on it. But an error occurred, invalid parameters. When calling admin get user operation, one validation error detected. Value blah 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 at user pool ID failed to satisfy constraint. Member must satisfy regular expression. I don't know what this is about because just like 2 hours ago, I was able to sign in with a user. So it feels like I haven't changed anything with that. I don't think. And now all of a sudden I can't sign in. So I'm not really sure what the deal is. But yeah, that's how far we got today. I think, yeah, I don't know how we're going to continue, but I think the way to do it is we're going to have to use password and email. And we're just going to have phone number as an additional thing. But I'm going to check other apps now after I finish recording and come back in the next video and probably, hopefully, know a little bit more how they handle the login thing and maybe have some better ideas of how to do this. But yeah, thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.